Hey, oh, there's more music. Why is that playing? Stop. Stop it. Oh, I know why. That was me. That was me confusing myself. That was me, once again, confusing myself because I left my YouTube on. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Not Your Father's Show. I'm Lenny Schmidt.
And I'm Robert Robbins.
Yeah, and we're back live again. We're live. I forgot that. I want to put a little live thing on. I want to do that right now. Make it cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I can read everyone's comments.
Are you? I know Tammy's here. Robin's here.
Hi, Tammy. Hi, Robin.
Tammy sent me an awesome bottle of whiskey for my birthday.
Speaking of which, it's your birthday. What,
Yeah.
Thursday is it?
Yes, Thursday. I can't wait. I'm very
birthday,
excited.
Lenny.
Thank you, man. I'm very excited. It's good, man.
We did something last year, I think. We usually do.
Yeah, we do. I know I did a live thing last year with my brothers on YouTube, and then we did something that week, and we went on or something. We had dinner or something. You guys had me over for dinner.
Yeah, I think we did that, and then another time was the one up, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh, right, right.
But that was that last year? So many birthdays we've hung out. When you're not on the road. Speaking of which, you just got back from being on the road, right?
I know. Yeah, I was. I was going. You know what? I did a bunch of weeks on the ship, but I also just did the brand new Carnival Mardi Gras, which was
really
pretty awesome. Yeah, it was great, man. I was very excited.
How's that,
dude? It was amazing. It was amazing. I'll tell you what. That ship. I work a lot of big ships, you know, and when I got to, I'm trying to fix this graphic really quick while I'm talking. I work a lot of really big ships. And I thought it was going to be exactly like some of the other ones, the Breakaway I work and some of those other ones, you know. Dude, this was the most amazing ship I've ever been on in my entire life. It was. I mean, really? I was really blown away by how fantastic.
And you've been doing this for so many years. For you to say this is a really great ship or an amazing experience really must take the cake.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was really shocked. It was cool. I'm trying to fix this.
That's fantastic. Which
it is
this?
It's the Carnival Mardi Gras. It's a brand new ship they launched in August, and I can't describe how cool it is. I have my Patreon members who many of them watch the show. We have a thing on Thursday. We're doing a happy hour thing. Which if you want to join the Patreon, you can do that, and you can be involved this Thursday. It's something called it's happy hour somewhere, and we have like a Zoom meeting at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock Pacific. We sit down, we have drinks, we kind of catch up, we talk. It's almost like back in COVID when we were all stuck doing Zoom shit, and that's what we do. But this Thursday what I did was I took a bunch of video from around the ship. So I took different like Lido deck late at night, and there's
nice.
Dude, their main promenade is 3 different decks, 6, 7, and 8.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. So. I mean, every day I was on that ship, I was completely blown away by the food and how fantastic the ship was, and I mean, I was so very impressed with everything Carnival did on the ship. It was the greatest ship I think I've ever been on. It was pretty amazing. So I took some video footage of it, and I'm going to show it to my Patreon fans on Thursday. And the food was amazing. They have specialty restaurants which you go into and you can pay a little extra. And I had breakfast at Emerald's every day. It's like you can get a big thing of shrimp and grits for like $5. So wow. It was amazing. So the food was amazing. So there was that, and there's another place that had Chinese food, and I ate a whole roasted duck one day. I mean, I was an animal. I ate a lot of food. I knew going in I was not going to eat well last week. So you know what I mean? So it's like I was
That's
just
kind of like the same rules of a road trip. You know, as soon as you get in the car, it's like all the calories go out the window.
Yeah, and I worked out like crazy, but it was really just to keep up with all the food. It wasn't like, you know, I didn't lose weight. I might have even gained weight, you know, from all of it. But it was worth it.
If you worked out, then, you know, muscle weighs more than fat, so you can kind of.
Well, that muscle is now covered by an extra 10 pounds of fat from all the food I ate.
It's winter.
Yeah,
it's winter time.
Sure,
you need that extra insulation.
Yeah, I guess so. That's what I'm going with. But it was great. It was a good trip. That was good. I was there for a week. And now I'm home. I'm home this week's my birthday week, so I'm very excited.
That's fantastic. Spend it with your girls. That reminds me, I think Nicolette wants to take you out for your birthday for lunch.
Yeah, we'll go. I'll do because she works about a block away from me for sure. I'll send her a text and for sure because I can't. like you guys, some of you guys know that Robert used to live in the same building, Robert and and now
Yeah.
I moved across the street and he moved to Canada. So it's a long time for me to get up to his place. So
it does.
so I can't make
Luckily,
it
you
up there
don't
during
need a
this week.
passport.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't. But anyway,
it's
I
far
hope
north.
I know I was supposed to go up there today, but it didn't work on the short week, and so. But Nicolette I haven't seen, so I'll have lunch with Nicolette. Let's
Yeah,
say
for sure.
let's say hello. We have a lot of people watching, so I want to say hello to everybody that's here real quick because
Yes.
they all jumped on board. First of all, Tammy's here once again. Tammy, thank you for the birthday gift. It was really awesome, really sweet, and I will definitely enjoy some of that tonight with a cigar. I'm really looking forward to that, man. That's
Nice.
yeah, just sit down with a little whiskey and a cigar. It'd be perfect. And Vince, her husband, also, thank you guys both. You guys are the best. Angela's here. Hi, Angela. I'm glad that you checked in. Awesome. I'm glad you can make it. My friend and Robin Greenberg, you got hammered doing shots last year. Yeah, that's what I did for my birthday. Robin, remember that. I told Lily to go get me a shot. We were talking. I had all my brothers at the show. And I go, Lily, go get me a shot. And she came back with like a rocks glass filled with Gentleman Jack. It was huge.
Nice.
So, yeah, so I got hammered. And then Robin's here. Everybody's here. We're good. Vince, Robin, Tammy. Okay, we're good. That's all the people. That's everyone. And Angela. Cool. Excellent. Guys, thanks for tuning in.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for being here. Say hello to
And
Robert.
also, I believe my parents are watching.
Oh, right
I
on.
told them we were going live tonight. They're up in Auburn, California, Bob and Lucy.
Okay.
And
Hi, Bob and Lucy.
they're I think you've met them before. You have
Okay.
back in the day,
Right.
when they would stop by once every 3 or 4 years.
Mhm.
So they're watching. Mom, Dad, I love you. I can't wait to see you around Christmas time. And I hope you guys are doing well and have a fun, festive, decorative house that I can help decorate even more.
There you go.
Last time I was up there was I went up for Hunter's Camp a few weeks ago, beginning of October. I'm like, Mom, Dad, how are you guys doing? And they're like, we're great. We have a fence that we need you to rebuild.
Nice.
So that was the last trip.
Got to put you to work, man.
Absolutely. Anyway, I wanted to tell you about my cat. We have a kitten. Did I tell you about this kitten named
You did.
Lucky?
You did. I think you sent me pictures of your kid.
I did.
Yeah.
It's so here's the story in a nutshell. For those of you that may know Valencia area, there's two main streets. It's by Magic Mountain. It's
Right.
McBean Parkway and Valencia. And it's right by the Westfield Mall, and there's like 6 lanes in every single direction, you know. So we're I have my daughter riding shotgun, and we're coming up on a right, and then we see the car in front of us go, and we see this little black puff of something running across the street diagonally. It's coming diagonally. It's coming kitty corner from us, and it's just, you know, coming along. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a kitten. So I stop, and it runs underneath my truck. And I get out, I put my blinkers on. This is rush hour. And I look under the truck. My daughter jumps out the other side. I don't see it. I'm like, please don't let me have rolled over it. And we hear this mewing, and I walk around, and it's on top of my left front tire, my passenger front tire, and it's just holding on. And it's
It got
really,
on
really
top of
tight
your
thing.
front tire.
It's on top, like it ran to my truck and scrambled up the top of it.
Okay.
So I had a blanket, and we got it in the blanket. And the first thing I said to my daughter when we got in is like, don't ask. Don't ask. See, I'm allergic to cats and dogs. And I was like, don't ask. I'm not ready to have an animal here. I'd love to have some animals, but I'm not ready for that. And so she didn't. And I called a bunch of shelters and stuff. And I think I sent you a picture of Lucky. We named him Lucky McBean for McBean Parkway. And he was very lucky that I didn't run over him. And we found out he was about 4 weeks old. And so there's a picture of him on my dash right after we picked him up. And I, of course, got the kitty litter and food and things like that. And then I texted some pictures to my wife, Nicolette. And she's looking, she's like, oh, why are you sending me these pictures if you know that I can't ask for the cat to stay? Because I already told my daughter, don't ask. I don't want to keep the cat. Please don't ask. And I know you're all thinking that like maybe I'm the Grinch or something, but I really didn't want the responsibilities because many of you out there may know whenever you get an animal, most of the responsibility falls on, the parents, the adults, like kitty litter, feeding, walking, everything else. So late that night, after the kitten was defleed and bathed and all happy and nice and fed, I looked to my wife and I said, okay, we can keep him. And we named him Lucky. Now, the reason I'm sharing the story is it's going to go into our topic today, which is not having a divided front. And when it comes to a pet and kids, it's really easy for a kid to ask their parent, like their dad, can I keep him? The dad says no. They go over to the mom. Mom, can I keep him? And they're like, oh, so adorable. Of course. And then there is like a pattern interrupt between the communication between the mom and dad.
All right, wait. I have pictures of Lucky McBean. We would be wrong if we did not show these pictures. Okay, these pictures of this cat. Look at this cat.
That cat's in my boot. That was like the first or second week we've had the cat.
Dude, that's amazing. Hold on, why is that happening? Hold on. There we go. Oh my God. Oh, this is my favorite one. Look at this. Dude, look at this cat. It's the pumpkin, dude. Dude, it's so tiny.
Oh my gosh, incredibly tiny. I mean, this picture with the pumpkin is like maybe the second month. Like it was so tiny. Like he fell into my boot and he would climb and like nap there. We'd look around, where's Lucky? And so we'd look in my boots and there he is. This is right after we saved him, right here.
Wow. Look, he knows he's got you one over in that picture too. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I'm going home with you. Yeah, and now that we have a Christmas tree, like that's his favorite place to go is just climbing up the Christmas tree and hiding out in the lights. And it's interesting because their eyes get like super huge and big and they're like, ooh, lights, and it's overkill. But he's adorable. I love him. And I'm really glad that he came into our life. But once again, if I said no, don't ask, and then my daughter went to her mom and said, can we keep him? And if she said yes, we would have had a problem. That's undermining the other parent. And what
after you said no,
today,
after you had said no. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That would have been really bad. But she didn't. I mean, we have really good communication, and it wasn't overnight. This is being and understanding and knowing like how to not undermine the other parent, which is what we want to talk to you about tonight. And Lenny and I were talking about this earlier, which sometimes people are divorced and they're on the same page when it comes to parenting. And some people are happily married, yet they're not on the same page when it comes to discussing rules or, punishments. And then they ask the other parent, and then the kids learn to manipulate. And you were saying that you and the girl's mom are on the same page most of the time.
Yeah, we're on the same page most of the time, and it makes it easier for us especially since we're divorced, and one lives in Chicago and one lives in Illinois. So it's way easier because the kids know. Like we mentioned this earlier too. Kids especially when it comes to divorce, they start to understand the divide and conquer thing. You know what I mean? They start to. I did when I was a kid. My parents are divorced, and you could play one parent against the other.
Of course.
It was pretty easily to do it. So, but the fact my ex and I are on the same page makes it a lot easier and harder for them to do that because we communicate. You know what I mean? When something happens, we call up and we go, "Hey, this is happening. Oh, okay, blah blah blah." So, I mean, we touch base all the time. So eventually, we catch up to what we're doing. I can only imagine. I know friends who really like my parents weren't on the same page. And I can only that is incredibly difficult. It's not only it's difficult for the parents because then it's a whole drama thing and a fight thing and then it's a power thing. That's which is also kind of another discussion for another show. When during divorce, parents get into a fight and the kid's stuck in the middle. But
of course,
right?
And
but
the kid is the collateral.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Right. But for a kid, if the parents aren't on the same page and they can manipulate one or the other, it sends a terrible message on a lot of different levels. First of all, it really gives them a effed up idea of what an adult relationship is like. You know what I mean?
absolutely,
For them to
it
grow up and
absolutely does.
think if they're going to move forward to be in a relationship with another individual, that to them they just go, "Well, my mom and dad always did this," and it's not healthy.
Hmm.
Right.
Of course. The other problem, and like I said, this, you're really lucky that you guys got along, because with some divorced parents, the kid will ask one or the other, or the parent will want to be the favorite and want to say yes all the time. Of course, you can go to Disneyland or Magic Mountain. Of course, you can play video games. Of course, you can stay up. Of course, I'll buy you this new thing, or take you to the new movie that's coming out, or download it, on demand. And then the other parent that has the responsibility of, did you finish your homework? Did you brush your teeth? I need to take you to the dentist. I need to take you for a checkup. Make sure your clothes are clean and your lunch is made and things like that. And then it pits one parent against the other. And then it plays favoritism. And as a kid, you're not thinking, oh, this is healthy for me to have structure and responsibilities and chores and obligations and learning. It's not fun as a kid. You're like, forget that. I want all the fun. I want to play video games. I want to stay up late. I want to eat what I want when I want.
Right.
And, immediately, with a lot of parents, because of that resentment, you want your kid to like you more. And it's not a contest.
Right.
It's not a contest at all. And the same thing happens with, nuclear families where the parents are still married, and whether they're, in love or a good relationship or not, if they're all together under the same roof, a lot of times parents need that little ego stroke and they want to be the favorite. And I know it sounds bad to hear, but it's very true. It's nice when your kid wants to come to you. It's nice, and whether it's to ask for, like, can I watch 10 more minutes of TV? Can I play this video game? And it sucks to say, yes, I want to say yes, but did you finish your homework? Did you turn that assignment in late? Did you, brush your teeth, wash behind your ears? Did you take a shower? Did you make your lunch? Did you pull out your clothes for tomorrow? Did you take out your soccer cleats and, get yourself ready for soccer practice tomorrow? Whatever it might be. It's no fun to have to be the parent. We want to say yes. We want to be like, yeah, of course. We want to see our kids smile. But it's a quick fix and not a solution for how they're going to be. Then they're going to start expecting that and saying, well, you let me do this yesterday.
Right. And then it's learned, and it's even at a point where it's learned behavior. Like, that was one of the biggest problems I had as an adult going to therapy. Was my learned behavior growing up was manipulation, because that's how my family communicated as when I was a kid. My parents were divorced. I didn't get along with my mom, and we were just everything was based on manipulation. So it affected it was part of the reason it helped contribute to the demise of my marriage. Really, it was one of the biggest things we talked about in therapy, was the fact that I had a tendency I had a learned behavior for manipulation. Which was, and it wasn't even on an evil level where I'm trying to get something, but in my mind, I was like, if I do this, then this she'll be happy, but we never communicated healthy about it. And then when I would do something and she wouldn't be happy, I'd be mad, I'd be angry because it didn't work, and that's not healthy communication.
Right. No, not at all. And there's a great book that I've mentioned before by Dr. David Swanson, Help My Kid Is Driving Me Crazy. The 17 ways kids manipulate and what you can do about it.
Right.
And when he was on his press tour about this, everyone's like, wow, manipulate, that's such a bad word. And it's not. You said it earlier, it is learned behavior.
Right.
A lot of kids are learning to communicate their wants, not necessarily their needs, their wants. And by giving it to them, they're like, okay, if I get this, then I do the same thing and I should get the same result. So if they cry, okay, they get the reward. If they complain, oh, just be quiet, here you go, they get the reward. So they're learning, if I do this, I get that. And it's very simple. So when it comes to the parenting, if they say, can I have this? Can I keep the cat? Can I keep the dog? Can I keep this? Can I do whatever? One parent says no. Okay, well, if I go to the other parent, they're going to say yes because they want to make me happy. And then there's a fight between them, and they're not even concerned whether I'm keeping the animal or not.
Right,
So
right. Suddenly it's not about the issue at hand, really. It's about something else
Absolutely.
completely altogether, right?
It's being undermined in front of the kids for sure. Now, in doing that, being on the same page, there's a lot of things that have to happen. Number one, like whoever sets the rule, it has to be um, modified by that person. For example, if you punish your kid and you're saying, okay, you don't have your phone for a week. You didn't finish your homework, you got a bad grade, whatever it is. You don't get your phone for a week. The other parent cannot go behind their back and say, well, you've been good. Here's your phone back after day 2.
Right,
It
right.
has to go back to the parent that set the degree of whatever the punishment is. Even if you think if they say, you know what, you've lost your phone for the next year, and the other parent says, wow, that's kind of harsh, you can't do it in front of the kid.
Right, right.
You have to say, I support you. You heard your mother, you heard your father, whatever it is, you heard them.
Right.
That's the way it is. And then behind closed doors, you can be like, wow, that was pretty rough. That was rough.
Right. And then you
So,
come to the kid
yeah.
afterwards, like we used to do that where I mean, it's easy, first of all, it's easy to lose your temper, because kids piss you off. Let's be honest with you. When they're teenagers, they do shit. And you're like, you little, you know what I mean? I mean, every once in a while,
Oh my gosh.
you lose everybody knows. There's no perfect parent walking around saying, oh, no, I've been totally even keel with my kid. Every parent snaps at some
Yeah.
point and loses your temper. So it's
Of
easy to
course.
go, you'll be in your room for the rest of your life. And then,
Yeah.
and then you would talk to my ex, we'd talk about, like, that was a little much. And you'd agree, but then the key
Yeah.
is afterwards. The key is afterwards. When we went to whoever it was, the kid, Anna or Lily, we would say, your mom and I talked, or both of us talked,
Mhm.
and we decided. And that's how you present it. That's how we always presented it. We
Exactly.
decided together. It wasn't like, okay, your mom was ridiculous. We realized, no, you don't throw one under the bus. You don't make fun of them. You don't do any of that
Yeah.
stuff. You say, we talked, we decided, and we're doing this. And we. It's a
Mhm.
really big deal, man, to say that constantly. So the kids know no matter what, that the parents are going to talk and agree moving forward and be on the same page.
Of course. Yeah, it's supremely important to do that because we're still teaching our kids this is how it goes. In the same instance, there's a lot of, like you're out working, you're on cruise ships, you're on the road, you're touring,
Yeah,
and
it's hard work, man.
yeah, it's double tough. A lot of parents that are like before the pandemic and even during the pandemic, someone has to go to work. And a lot of times one of the parents puts in way more hours. It's nice when it's kind of balanced out and they can say, okay, I'll pick them up and then you drop them off for school when they're together, like in the same house. But a lot of times, let's say, and just for this scenario, I'm going to say that the dad works most of the hours, in the relationship. So if the mom's there, taking them to baseball practice or soccer practice, ballet or whatever it is, making sure they do the homework and turning things in and book reports and shopping in the right clothes, making sure they do the laundry and everything else. The dad can't come in and say, okay, I haven't seen you in a few days because I keep getting home so late. Show me your homework. Show me this. Show me that. They're trying to put an emphasis on the weight of their position when it's not necessary and it's uncalled for. You have to trust your spouse that they're taking care of things. And before you ask the kid, you should ask the spouse because they're the ones doing the day-to-day operations. So when your kid sees you, most of the time they just want to catch up. They want to tell you some good things. And that's the tough part.
Right.
Of course
right.
we want to say, did you get everything done? So I don't have to worry about it. So I don't have to say, oh my gosh, you knew you were supposed to do this or whatever. It's nice to say, hey, how was your day? Let's check in. How are your friends?
Right. Well, I go through that with Lily here too, man, because of the fact that I travel, and I had this conversation with her. I was like, look, I don't want to be the dad. I don't have to be the dad that comes home and spends the one night I have with you complaining about your homework and your house, your room not being clean. I go, and to her credit, we had a long conversation this morning. She actually is doing very well. I'm very proud of her. She's doing
that's great.
She's doing an excellent job as far as school and balancing everything and my traveling. And she's like, she's been really great about it. And I told her that. I told her, look, I just want you to know I'm really proud of you because she's accomplished a lot of stuff. So I let her know that I feel that way. Hang on, I want to go to the board because there are a bunch of people are making comments. So we have to.
All right.
First of all, sorry, Ben Magley is here, and I'm not responding to any of your Green Bay Packer comments, Ben Magley. I'm not doing that right now. I will tell you this, Ben Magley. You better hope the Bears don't beat the Packers, because I will be your worst nightmare for the next year. I will be. The Bears are horrible. You keep making fun of them. They're a terrible team. They don't execute well. They are not playing well. And if they somehow beat the Packers, I am going to make your life miserable on a daily basis, because the Bears suck, like, horribly. Tammy says she may have read the book by Dr. David. She says she thinks she's read that book. Yeah. So that's that looks like that's pretty cool. She said that a second ago. Hang on. Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, no, they're talking about the Aaron Rodgers and the. Thank you, Tammy. Okay, we're not going to harp on this, but Aaron Rodgers is talking about, or Tammy's talking about Aaron Rodgers and lying about the vaccination. Did you follow this story, Robert? Did you see this?
I didn't see all of it. No.
All right.
Why don't you give me the nutshell?
Well, I'll keep it. I want to keep it because I don't want to get off subject too much. But here's my beef about this. I'm going to make it very simple. It's something similar that's going on right now with Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown got suspended for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers along with two other players because they had fake counterfeit vaccination documents. Okay?
Oh, wow.
So they got in trouble for that. And the best part about it is that Antonio Brown literally got vaccinated the day after he turned the fake document in. I don't know. He's an idiot. I don't know why he did that. But Aaron Rodgers told everyone months ago or weeks ago, they asked if he was vaccinated, and he said, yeah, I'm inoculated or whatever. So he lied to the press and the public, but he didn't lie to his team. And then he got COVID, and everyone said, what happened? He goes, well, I didn't get vaccinated. So it turned out he lied to everyone, and he didn't get suspended, but he was out for a game because of the COVID thing. Here's why this is a big deal to me. I don't know if Tammy feels the same way. She says she doesn't like liars, and I'm with her on this. Dude, I understand what you want with the vaccination and who's supposed to get it and the mandates and everything else. If you're a football player or an NFL player or an athlete or in the 1% or you're rich and you have money, there are rules we're supposed to be following. And I know people who are firemen, doctors, and working at restaurants that are losing their jobs because they're not vaccinated. And they have to follow rules. And don't tell me that NFL players don't have to follow the same fucking rules that everyone else is following. That's where I'm mad. That's where I'm frustrated. Because he does it and they go, well, it's over with. And they're like, no, if it was anyone else, they would have lost their job. They would have been fired. They'd have been in trouble. And that's not what's happening with any of these NFL players. They're trying to, and the union's trying to brush it under the league like it's no big deal. Anyway, that's why I don't want to get off a tyrant about that. But Tammy's mad because he basically lied to everyone and said he got vaccinated. But then he used the word inoculated and said, well, I didn't say vaccinated. I said inoculated. And so he fudged with the words. Anyway, I'm done talking about that. Anyway, I'm really mad. The whole point is this. There's a lot of rules they're putting together for these mandates. Everyone needs to follow the same rules. Just because you have money doesn't mean you don't have to follow the rules. I mean, Chicago shut down half the police force because they weren't vaccinated. They had to get vaccinated. Anyway, all right, I'm going to let that go. All right, I'm sorry. Oh, look, Ben even agrees that his quarterback, he's right. He knows Aaron Rodgers is an asshole. What else? There's a lot of Packer talk here. Vince, I have to admit, I honestly didn't get in much trouble. My sister was the one that yelled back at my father. That was Robin. Oh, I see. So Robin, they're talking about Robin's dad. Here, now, let's get back to this. This is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Robin's dad was the executioner. The executioner. Yeah, it's a word I don't really use when it comes to parent, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. It's like the term "wait till your father gets home." Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, there was the one was the badass, one wasn't the badass, or And like you said, it's really tough if you're divorced too, because whoever the divorced parent is, I mean, they're the one that's doing the heavy lifting. You know what I mean? I'll even admit I was the Disneyland parent. I was the guy that popped in, and I would be like, "How are the kids doing? Great. Let's go to Great America." So, but I mean, in my defense, to defense of all Disneyland fathers, kind of, you don't have a whole lot of choice. You know what I mean? If you're in a situation where your ex-wife moves to another state and now you're suddenly only coming to town for 4 days, I mean, you can definitely talk to the kids and discipline them over the phone and deal with it when you're there. But if you only see them for 4 days, you're going to spend time with them. What are you supposed to do? You can't not do it. One time I didn't take my kids to Disneyland because of something Anna did. It was a grades thing.
Same here. Yeah.
And it was a big deal. But I mean, what are you supposed to do? But again, we were on the same page. My ex and I were on the same page again about that. Your mom and I decided, blah 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 blah. And I think we mentioned this a little bit earlier. This is something I always think about with my kids constantly. You're setting an example for your kids. You're constantly setting an example when you do something and you behave a certain way. So anything I do, I'm always thinking about how my daughters are seeing that, how they're going to grow up, and what kind of adult relationships they're going to have moving forward. And I think about that. Mainly because I went to therapy. I I had a lot of problems, man. I don't want my daughters to go through a lot of the crap I went through. I want them to really be able to have their heads on straight and be able to look at life and have a healthy relationship with other adults, whether it's a boyfriend, husband, friend, or whatever.
Even coworkers and bosses.
That's a big one too, because coworkers, you see them every day, and sometimes, let's be honest, you don't like your coworker, man. Sometimes you work with someone, you're like, that guy's a schmuck. I hate him. I hate that guy.
Oh yeah,
but you got to work with them.
Sometimes worse.
Yes, and they're and you got to deal with it. I mean, you don't have a choice. You have to find a way to coexist with someone that you can't stand. That's one of the lessons, I think. That's the hardest lesson to teach these kids today, especially I think all like millennials and stuff. Everybody has this attitude where, like, call it cancel culture, call it whatever, but everybody likes to go, "Oh, I'm not happy about this, so it has to change." Sometimes it doesn't change. Sometimes you have a job and it sucks.
Deal with it.
Yeah, and you have to go to the job that sucks, and you work with the boss that sucks, and you work with someone else that sucks, and you just deal with it. And you can't go, well, I can't deal with this, because then they go, okay, well then bye. You don't have a choice.
Exactly. The mentality though is when you have to do it and you have to deal with it and suck it up and go through it, it doesn't mean that's forever.
Right.
It means that's where you are right now. You're paying your dues, you're making your bones, you're learning, and then you can advance. Sometimes you might move to another company, you might move to another career, but at least you're getting the experience and gaining patience.
Right.
There's people that I couldn't stand that I learned valuable lessons from.
Right.
And it's important.
Right, and you take that information to your next job. You learn that, like you said, experience and patience helps you, because now you learn when you're in your next job, maybe you could avoid that situation. Maybe you can avoid, you're like, no, I'm not going to do this, because last time I was stuck with Tommy, and Tommy's a fucking moron, and I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
So this time I'm working with Timmy. I like Timmy.
Tommy.
Screw Tommy. This idiot.
Yeah.
So, but you find a way, maybe you can avoid this situation moving forward, and you learn that by dealing with it and moving on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's incredibly important. I wanted to circle back to when you said the Disneyland dad. This is one of the important things to recognize when you have time with your kids. If you're the parent that is still married and you work a lot and you come home late at night, or you're only there a little bit of the time, value that time. Like, if you only had these small amounts of time, it's okay to be like the Disneyland dad. Just don't undermine your spouse or your partner or their other parent. You can say, hey, how's it going? By the way, let's go to Disneyland. Let's go to Great America. Let's do this. Did everything happen okay? If something didn't happen okay, where there's discipline, check with the main parent. So what did you do about this? Let's talk about it. Okay, so you took away their phone. You took away this. You don't want them to go on to, you don't want them to go to Disneyland or see a movie or whatever it is. They're grounded. Okay, I can stick with that. And you have to stick with that.
Right.
There was some parents that I was working with years ago that their child did something, and it was kind of bad. It was something at school as well as at home. So it was like a double. And they said, okay, well, we're going to punish you, but we planned out this trip. So for the next 2 weeks, we're going to go to this resort. And it's like, well, you're rewarding that bad behavior. They're not going to realize. So you're going to come home after this great experience, and then you're going to be like, okay, here's the punishment. And they're like, what did I get in trouble for? And then we did the same thing. We canceled the Disneyland trip because Jocelyn did something that was really surprising. And she learned her lesson, thankfully. But we had to cancel a Disneyland trip. And I was so bummed. I was meeting this other friend of mine. He's another doctor, and his family and their kids and Jocelyn get along really well. Had to say no.
Yeah, it has much more. It holds a lot more weight when you do it immediately. When something like that, you know what I mean? It really sends a strong message. It sucks though. I could see how some parents would. I could see how you might look the other way, because like if it's a trip where you went to Disney World, then you're
the flights and hotel booked. Yeah,
that might be a little bit different. That might be.
Yeah.
That, I mean, you might not have a choice.
Disneyland is a 45-minute drive.
Yeah, and it's like you can miss it and go out whatever, but if it's a whole weekend trip thing, I mean, I don't know. So I can almost see that, but it has way more effect if you do it immediately. You're absolutely right. Tammy asked, I don't know if you look. Tammy asked if you. Well, first of all, Robin said her coworkers never knew how much she hated them. It's so sweet. I love Robin. She put on her game face.
Yes. I work with adults. I primarily do teens with family systems. So I work with parents on parenting. So we do parenting techniques, and then I work with the teen to give them more communication skills. And I also work primarily with couples. Well, that's two primarities. They're all the same in the sense
Yeah,
that
it is two primarily.
here
That's
you
not
are, you
proper
have,
English. You went to college,
it's
dude. You're
not,
supposed to be
it's
the
not.
smart one. You're supposed to be the
I
smart one
know.
here. You're supposed to be.
Supposed
You're
to
the one
be,
that makes
yeah.
this whole thing legitimate.
Okay, so uh, the same thing is with couples as it is with, parenting, or, teens dealing with other teens. You have all these emotions, all these feelings. You have this argument of want and need inside going on, and you have no way to communicate it, no roadmap, no Rosetta Stone. Same thing in relationships. You find someone that is pushing all these buttons that you didn't know existed. You want to communicate with them, and you don't have a roadmap or know how to communicate with them. So that's why it's the same. It's the emotions, being able to take our thoughts and feelings and put them into constructive words so that we're heard. So that's what I do.
Okay, Tammy's. I'm sorry. Tammy's next comment is it too late to help a parent when the child is 39?
No, that's the easy one.
He's the really 39.
So
Okay,
you change your phone number.
that's how you do it. All right, man. All right, we should wrap this up. We should wrap this up.
Yeah.
Dude, this is great. This is a good one. I told you this would be a good one. We talked this afternoon. I really love this one because it was as much as the problems that my ex and I had. Most of the time, we were really on the same page when it came to the kids. And like I said, we just talked to Lily's new therapist. It just makes life a lot easier. God, it makes life so much easier. I feel horrible for any parent that has to go through a situation where they're not on the same page and they're getting a divorce. And I've seen those situations, and they're just a nightmare. And it really makes life so difficult for the kids. It just makes life ridiculously difficult for the children. It's just not. It's not.
Yeah. You put all your feelings aside and realize that everything you're doing, the way you're communicating, you are imprinting on your child. If you want your child to grow up and do the same thing and go through the same struggles, then do what you do. Otherwise, break the cycle. And it's important, no matter what, that you get on the same page with your spouse away from the child. So talk behind closed doors. And it's okay to be like, I'm so upset with you. I don't know what your punishment is, but I can't answer now. Otherwise, I'm going to take away the sun, So go talk to your spouse and say, oh, geez, what should we do? Talk to them. What do you think we should do for a punishment? What do you think we should do for a reward? All of those things need to happen because you're a team. Even if you're divorced, you are still a team.
Right.
To raise that child the best way you know how.
Right. All right, man. Well, if you have any comments or questions, thank you everybody for tuning in. We had a great turnout tonight. I was really happy about that. That's awesome.
Yep, for sure.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Tammy and Vince again for the grift. It was really awesome. Robin, you're awesome. Ben, whatever. Ben, you're a good man. This weekend. By the way, really on a side note, once again, Ben, thank you. Ben offered to give me a ticket for this weekend's Bear Packer game. He offered to get me.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. But because I have to get on the ship the very next morning, and it's a Sunday night game, and I didn't want to risk travel in December. We talked about this weeks ago. I just didn't want to risk the travel, and I feel I've never been to Lambeau. I would have loved to have gone. Yeah, I think the Bears are going to get embarrassed on national TV again Sunday night, but it would have been a long Sunday night in a Bears jersey in Lambeau Field. But I would have done it. But thank you, Ben. I'll take you up on it next time if I can make the travel work. Because man, that would have been a blast. It would have been fun to see you and fun to hang out. So it was very nice of you. Thank you very much. I did turn you down, Ben. I said I thank you. I said thank you. He's giving me shit. I think Ben wants me to be in Lambeau Field so I can sit next to him and just watch the drumming that the Bears are going to take. But again, Ben, thank you. That was very nice of you. Angela, thank you for the birthday wishes. Hey, guys, if you have comments or questions about the show, email us. The email's right there on the screen right now it's notyourfathershow@gmail.com. Right. And our Instagram is at notyourfathershow. Tune in. We're here every Monday night at 6 o'clock. Next week, we'll have another episode uploaded. And I'm not sure when we're going to go live again, but I will keep you posted and let you know. So thanks for everything.
All right,
Oh,
everyone.
also
Take care.
like the video.
Oh,
I keep
what's up?
forgetting. Like the video and
Like it.
share. I always forget. This is why I have no followers. Like
Yes.
the video and subscribe to the channel, please, and share it. It really helps
Also,
YouTube out.
Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook. But really like the video. Subscribe to the channel really helps, and like the video on YouTube. It really, really, really helps me out a ton, and it costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to subscribe to the channel and like the video.
Click.
So
That's it.
that's it, man. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Yeah.